Ever since we got the recent announcement that Michael Bay is coming back and we're going to be getting more Bayformers, look, not for nothing, but the stocks of Hasbro are starting to go up again, and this is a good sign. What's going on, everybody? Hit that subscribe and let's get into it. So let's talk more about Transformers. So look, I get it. There's a minority of fans that are out there and they're complaining and they're crying because Michael Bay, the king of the Transformers cinematic universe, is back. That's right. Now, they're complaining and they're saying, oh, what now? Where do we go from here? Look, I'm going to tell you straight up. What Michael Bay did was make money for the company. And it's already proven because shareholders, investors, and Hasbro and Paramount, they need to make money. This is what, it's all about. It's a business. Unfortunately, Transformers 1 didn't work. Not enough fans came out. And I'm a Transformers fan. I went out there, but it just didn't sell to me. All right. And just like that, a lot of fans didn't get sold on that idea. Same thing with Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast. They were entertaining, but they weren't all that like with Michael Bay. Yeah, I get it. With Michael Bay, you get some silliness, some cheesiness and stuff. You get hot, beautiful women. Hell, I welcome it. I don't oppose to that. And of course, you get the badass with these Transformers, and I get it. Some fans are crying because they're like, oh, well, Optimus isn't supposed to be the way that, Michael Bay portrays him. Who cares? I enjoy it. I love it. A lot of fans do because you could see it at the box office when those movies were out. And sure, The Last Night wasn't all that, but it's enjoyable. It's entertaining. That's all that matters. And most of all, it made money at the box office. When you have this brand, 5 films back to back making money, why stop there? You should just continue it and pick up where it left off. Look, let's be real. The next project that they need to be focusing on, and they should start literally working on now, would be the one that we already saw that it was teasing at the end of Rise of the Beast with the crossover of G.I. Joe and Transformers. Let's do it. Make it happen. And then with that, like I said, you can still go back and continue the Bayverse by, setting up everything and picking up where it all left off, with this whole thing of Unicron, because you can't tease a big villain like that and just leave him up in the air like nothing happened. No, you have to explain and you have to really go all out. And, like I said, you can make the last film of Michael Bay if you want, Transformers 6, closing, all right, hear me out, closing with that last franchise. Because remember, we got with the first 3, then the second one, wrapping things up. But you can also open a new franchise if you want, which would be G.I. Joe crossing over with the Transformers. You can set up another trilogy with that and have Michael Bay do his thing. If you want to have Josh, Cooley do the writing or whatever it is that he wants to, or whoever you want to, go for it. Let Michael Bay cook, let him direct, let him do his thing like he's good at. Let him bring all these explosions and all this craziness that he loves to do in these movies. In the end, I'm going to be there watching, so my wallet's going to be open because, again, that's what made money for the brand. And let's be real, that's what revived the brand and made more fans, in the mainstream side of this entertainment business, because people are not really watching cartoons. And on top of that, there's no cartoons of Transformers right now. There's probably animated shorts and stuff like that, but there's no real show, that's really focused on that and things like that. So with Michael Bay doing this, especially with, what Marvel has been doing and DC has been doing, I mean, we also need some love for the Transformers brand. And this is the time to literally capitalize and start making money once again. Because with the Bayformers, hell, that's what sold. That's what made money to the studio. And of course, you have the shareholders and the investors and all that stuff. And of course, you're going to keep majority of the fans and the audience entertained. That's all that matters, because they're going to go watch it and rewatch it. Now, to the ones that are saying, oh, it might not work because of this and that, look, just accept the fact Michael Bay's back. All of this is going to pick up from where it left off. Let them do what they want, as long as they let Michael Bay direct how he wants to do it and have full control without the studio getting in the way like they did with The Last Knight. Because clearly you can see the influence of the studio in the 4th film, but especially in the 5th film, which was The Last Knight. And of course, you know, that's what happened with that movie. But when you look at the old movies, 1, 2, and 3, that was Michael Bay doing his thing. That wasn't the studio getting in the way. And of course, when we got to Age of Extinction, boom, they made $1 billion. So that's all that matters, baby. See what I'm saying? So it makes money. And let Michael Bay just have fun. Let him do his thing. I get it. It's not for everybody, but for the most part, it is for the fans, customers, and consumers, and the general audience, because we're out there supporting it and we want more of it. You know, of course, you know, it just shows you the success at the box office. But again, what are your thoughts? Hit that subscribe, drop your comments, and until next time.